Live your life. Worry how you do it. As long as you enjoy it. Hey, I got my mind blown. Different time zones. Man, the sun rise up. Will you get up? It's a blessing how I'm dressing. Hey, you change so much when you fed up. Hold up, psychedelic features smiling like the Mona Lisa. Devil out here working, man, don't let that nigga beat ya. Conquer my hell, turn the speaker to a teacher. Confidence pouring in, these chicks say I'm a keeper. Hey, everybody swear they got the answer. Ask about the truth and they a dancer. Moving through these streets, I'm like a panther. Everybody want me on the camera. Oh yeah, living by the water. Got my life in order. Think about the memories, your eyes and some recorders. Make the most of it, share it with your sons and daughters. Life ain't a game, but I'm balling through these quarters. Ayy, riding to my timing. Darkness, now I'm shining. Man, I'm eating good. Won't you tell me, are you dining? Ayy, then again, maybe not. Won't you let me put this up in your pot? I'm not here to judge cause you took a shot. I just want the best for the have-nots. Let us pray. Let us pray. Hoping that the God take the pain away. Some are having trouble making through the day. Living in a system that ain't fair play. Let us pray. Hey. Let us pray. We all got patience. How much can you take? Hoping we don't break for a life's sake. Ay, trying to change your air, change your place. Are you nasty? Cause you miss me. Did you reach out or did you check up? You got family for insanity. Then it won't be long for it let up. Get up, you can try high, I can read your face expression. Don't get mad at me, cause I wasn't your protection. Talk to the creator, give him your confession. Top or the bottom, ayy, you always learn the lesson, ayy. Works hand in hand like the smoke in my session. Keeping my mind free with my discretion. Life on the TV is all fake, ayy. I just rather be me all day. Keeping me together or it all breaks. Live amongst the dirty, Lord have mercy. Some people cup running over, some is thirsty. Forgive me for my sins, hoping they ain't curse me. Standing out like stars in the dark sky. Behind doors, everybody took a hard cry. You say you never have, then I say, why lie? Hey, it's way too many frauds saying they a wise guy. Hey, let us pray. Hoping that the God take the pain away. Some having trouble making it through the day. Living in a system that ain't fair play. Let us pray, yeah. What's up, fight fans? What's going on out there, man? The homie main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. You hear me though? Once again, it's an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, an honor and a pleasure to be up on here with all of the boxing fam and the boxing fans. It's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's our time now, man. We're going to dedicate this episode of We Talking Boxing to Canelo Alverez and Sergey Kovalev, giving this such a monumental fight going down tonight, man. Man, y'all see the start time of this fight? You hear me? I got Alex Cartier in the building. Last of a dying breed in the building. Denise Wards in the building. What's up? What's going on, sister? What's up with you? Man, did y'all see the start time of this fight tonight? They saying Eastern Standard Time. They looking at a start time at about 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning. We know we got Ryan Garcia and them on the undercard. So what? Canelo Kovalev probably ain't going to be coming on to about between 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Eastern Standard Time. Chin Smoke, what up with you? Man, that's late, man. I'm like, look, man, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a post-fight thing tonight. If that's going down, that might be going down sometime tomorrow. You hear me, though? Because that's a little late for my liking, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. But, yeah, man, so it's going down late tonight. They talking about it's a UFC thing going down with Nate Diaz. And this going on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. which is why I'm a little baffled why DAZN cares so much about what ESPN is doing. But I guess that's what you get. You know, John Skipper, former president of ESPN or whatever he was over there, he's now running the things over in DAZN. So ever since that's happening, man, you see them looking out for ESPN more and more. You know, DAZN don't mind doing business with ESPN, you know, when it comes to fights, stuff like that. And here you see it tonight, they even moving their programming for them. I mean, a big-ass fight like this at that. How can Canelo Alvarez be happy about that? Let's just keep it at 100. Like, I mean, Canelo got to be, I mean, you got to think about your fan base, bro. Like, you got to think about you supposed to be the cash cow of boxing. Well, the cash cow of boxing, your network is putting on a fight late, that's not helping you and your fan base. So, I mean, if I'm Canelo Alvarez, I'm looking at the zone like, for real, we got to put this on so it can come on at 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. You know how many fans going to probably miss out on seeing that? I mean, that's not how the cash cow move. The cash cow is supposed to be cashing in on his love and in his fan base, right? They supposed to be using that to his financial advantage or somewhat, or far as for pay-per-views or something like that. But Slim, for them to be putting this on so late, this is going to hurt Canelo Alvarez from a fan base and a cash cow point of view. His people need to see him. But 1 o'clock in the morning, that ain't how you treat the cash cow, man. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what y'all want on that, but you can't treat the cash cow like that, putting them on at 1 o'clock between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. But it is what it is, man. It's prediction. We're going to do a prediction. I'll be in front of y'all shortly, man. I'm going to chill behind the scenes just for a second, man. But, yeah, man, it's going down tonight, man. I've thought long and hard about this fight. Every scenario you cut it, there's so many variables in this fight. So it's like you can look at it in so many different ways. I mean, I'm looking at Canelo's side, and I'm like, well, of course, we all know Canelo Alvarez is going in the guts, going downstairs. You know what I mean? Peeping that Sergey Kovalev may be vulnerable in the body department. Anybody that's a boxing fan right now, where anybody would tell you, well, Sergey Kovalev is weak in the body. And we're expecting Canelo Alvarez to do such. The question is, when are we expecting Canelo Alvarez to do it? Will he do it early? Will he do it mid-fight? Will he do it late? Where does it benefit him the most? Some may say if he go out there early and try to go into the guts, well, he's going to be facing a strong Sergey Kovalev at that point in the fight. And we're going to get to the weigh-ins and all that. I heard we seen what went down in the weigh-ins, but he's going to be facing a stronger Sergey Kovalev in the early portions of the fight. Should Canelo Alvarez weather the storm early and maybe about rounds 4, round 5, start to go in the guts? Now, we seen Anthony Yarde. It took him to about round 6 before he started to go into Sergey Kovalev's body. I don't think Canelo Alvarez should definitely wait that late into the fight to begin his body attack on Sergey Kovalev if that's the plan he's going to use, which I'm sure he is. Round 6 might be a little too much. But the question is, should he start early because Canelo Alvarez has the stamina issues? Now, we know that if he starts early and he put too much energy out there, will that deplete him mid to late fight of this fight, and that would be beneficial to Sergey Kovalev. Or should Canelo Alvarez go early and, you know, that's going to be the best version of Canelo Alvarez. I don't think the best version of Canelo Alvarez want to face the best, go toe-to-toe with the best version of Sergey Kovalev. I think that, honestly, if he's going to start this, I think about rounds 4. Rounds 4 makes sense to me. Rounds 4, then the body attack should start. The question is, can Canelo Alvarez weather that early storm? That big jab from Sergey Kovalev. The big right hand from Sergey Kovalev. Yeah, he may not be the crusher no more, but he can still crush some shit. And this dude can still put some punches on you, man. I mean, his last stoppage came from a jab. So, I don't know, man. I mean, should Canelo start early or should he start mid? I think round 4 should be, the body attack should be working for Canelo Alvarez, but he's going to have to weather an early storm, man, because if he starts too early and he depletes himself and he got to take too much time off in this fight, he got to take too many rounds off in the mid rounds, well, that may hurt him. That may hurt him. If he can, most of us don't have him outboxing Sergey Kovalev, but if he can grab 1-2 rounds early and then start his body attack mid rounds, maybe depleting Sergey Kovalev as closer to the championship rounds as you can get, well, that may benefit him. That may benefit him more. I don't think he want to try that with a, ready to go early Sergey Kovalev. We don't know how long Sergey Kovalev is going to be this strong version of himself in this fight. We seen at the weigh-in, it took him 3 times to make weight. I mean, he crunching to make the weigh-in. So, I mean, we know he had a short training camp. We know he's coming off a fight about 2 months ago where he went 12 rounds. Damn near stopped. How long would Sergey Kovalev, the strongest version of himself, last in this fight after all of that? That's what Canelo's going to have to figure out. But I think he should start about rounds 4 if he's smart. Now, like I said, I don't know if he weathers the earth. It's going to be tough for him to weather that early storm. But he got to grab 1-2 rounds. Now, also, Sergey Kovalev, what should he do? In my opinion, Sergey Kovalev's jab is key. Movement is key. And he needs to keep in mind that Canelo only is going to give him, in my opinion, at this weight, about a good 4 to 5 hard rounds. I'd say, yeah, about a good 4 to 5 really hard rounds. That's what Canelo going to have to get. After that, Canelo's going to have to take time off in this fight. I mean, he's fighting 2 weight classes up, 175 pounds. Going to have to take some time off. So Sergey Kovalev need to keep in mind, once Canelo starts this attack, he's going to have to weather it. He's going to have to keep Canelo on the outside of his jab as much as possible. Everybody knows that Canelo Alverez has very good upper body movement. Sergey Kovalev will be smart to go to Canelo Alvarez's body as well. Be mindful, if he does it from distance, which is Sergey Kovalev's best attribute, where he fights from distance, the jab downstairs, the right hand downstairs. If he does that, he better be watching heavy for those counter uppercuts and counter left hooks from Canelo Alvarez. But he'll be smart to keep Canelo on the outside of that jab, on the outside of that right hand as much as possible. Every time, if Canelo, and then also touch him downstairs as well. Deplete Canelo as fast as you can. Make him work. See what this new weight, see what this new weight gonna do with we've never seen him at this weight class. See what Canelo's punch resistance is like at 175. Make him work. Sergey got to work him as much as he can early. And put as much as he can on him as early as possible, because you don't want Canelo going through this fight comfortably. You want him to go through this fight uncomfortably and depleting himself, having to do more to win this fight. Because I'm telling you, man, I think that stamina issue is big for Canelo. I believe that Sergey Kovalev will have much better stamina than Canelo going into this fight. So this is going to be, man, it's just a lot of variables, man. It's just so many variables. Canelo Alvarez coming up 2 weight classes. 2 weight classes. We don't know what he's going to do at this 75 weight. We don't know how long it's going to take before he starts fizzling out. We just don't know. We don't know. Dare to be great. Lewis Coleman in the building. Last one says, I think it's pretty a fair fight. Looking forward to it. Canelo probably the favorite, but I'm going with Cole for the KO all day. All day. Last one says he hits hard as hell. All day. Lewis Coleman says if it goes 12 rounds, Canelo will win. No way Sergey gets a decision. That's the thing a lot of people are talking about. Will Sergey Kovalev get the proper respect on the scorecards? Most people expecting the answer to be no. Man, we got to watch out for that. I ain't going to deny that. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're not going to be probably favoring Canelo Alvarez one way. I'm not even going to act like they ain't. This is the cash cow of boxing. You got to expect that. Sergey Kovalev will have to make it clear cut. He will have to make it clear cut. He will have to create a lot of separation in this fight, Joe. I will admit that. But the power of Sergey Kovalev still showed us that it's still there also. I don't know, man. Last one says, I think that Canelo will tire early. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, that is, to me, the biggest thing that Canelo falls on a downslope for him in this fight, that he got going in this fight. It's the stamina. If you showing us at 160, 154, that he started to putt through fights. He couldn't stop Gennady Golovkin. He started to putt through that fight towards the end of that fight. He was going strong in the beginning, then he started putting at the end. You know what I'm saying? He was fizzling. And I don't know, man. At a weight class where we just seen Kovalev go through 12 grueling rounds with Yard. He had to put in a lot of work to keep Yard off him. But he made it through those 12. And we didn't really notice Sergey Kovalev tiring. It didn't, like overly tiring in a way where we can question his stamina. But I got to admit, Yard, those 2 rounds, man, that Yard went to the body. They were effective, Joe. They were super effective. You know what I mean? Straight Drop says Canelo is the rehydration clause king. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he is. And that's the one thing we got to talk about, because I forgot to talk about that on the last episode. If Canelo Alvarez win this fight, where we putting him at on the pound-for-pound list? Where we putting him at on the rankings? Are we bumping Bud and Lomachenko out the way if Canelo Alverez beats Sergey Kovalev? I don't know if I'm ready for that, fight fans. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Look, man, y'all can say what y'all want. I just still had the problem. Look, the reason I believe that Canelo is even taking a risk like this is to try to push the PED scandal out of the back of boxing fans' minds as far as possible. I can't be mad at him for this effort. It's a good thing to do. I would believe that the best way to convince boxing fans that you should be top 3, top 4, 5 pound for pound or whatever is that you go in the ring and you prove it. And so what Canelo is attempting to do here is to say, look, I know people are thinking about my PED scandal and they're saying, well, how can we know he's this good? How can we know he's that good? Because of my PEDs. So what I'm going to do is try to go for greatness and try to push it out of everybody's head. I can respect that, truth be told. I respect it. But the fact of the matter is he still has a PED scandal. And it's so recent. It's still find it hard for me to get around that for on the pound for pound list. But that's okay. But look, if that wasn't the case, if he didn't have that, I can easily sit back and say, Slim, a victory over Sergey Kovalev will put him right there, man. We got to really sit down. I still got Bud as number 1, but a victory for Canelo over Kovalev would just make me have to really evaluate things. But I think about he didn't fight Charlo. I think about we didn't get Demetrius Andrade. I think about that. You know what I mean? I think about at 54, what did he do? Truth be told. I think about he got the title from Cotto on the way out the door. These are all the things we got to think about if we're going to have this conversation, fight fans. Bud being undisputed. He's actually a reigning champion. Canelo with the catch weights. This is why when you talk Canelo in the pound for pound argument, it becomes complicated. He the only fighter in boxing that when you talk pound for it becomes complicated because it's like, oh, he fought at catch weights and then he going all these between weights and then the PED scan. It's like, okay, I hear what y'all saying. He beat this guy. He beat that guy. But there's a lot of shit over here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And it's like when you talk about Canelo on the pound, it's just complicated, man. You got to read the small print. So I don't know, man. It's a monumental win, Sergey Kovalev. It really is. But the shit, it's just the shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I can't get over it, man. I just can't get over it. Then I think about Alexander Usyk, and I think about Terrence Crawford, and I think about Vasyl Lomachenko and Earl Spence Jr. and what they are doing in boxing, how they're reigning, how Canelo is doing good. But even at the 68 win, how much credit are we giving? He got a secondary belt. He didn't go up to 68 and fight the dude. He ain't go and fight Callum or he ain't fight Caleb. He ain't fight Bennett. He fought Rocky Fielding. Then for a secondary belt, fight fans. So all of these things, if we're going to have this conversation after the fight, maybe we could, I don't know, man. I got a problem putting them top, especially number 1 pound for pound, even after this victory. I just still got a problem with it. Maybe I'm tripping. Straight Drop says Kovalev needs 3 knockdowns to get a draw. I hear you, man. He coming in this fight already about 4 rounds down, huh? Low Blow Champ say Kovalev is plus 300. Crazy. They made him such a big dog. Plus 300. Nice. Hey, I might got to put some bread on that right there, bro. That's good. He going in here the heavy. Damn, he going here in a major. Wow. Lewis Coleman says if Canelo knocks out, Low Blow say no, he was plus 350 before the day, or it came down 50. Oh, man, Slim. Lewis Coleman says if Canelo knocks out Sergey, damn, he will be the best in boxing right now over Crawford too. Now, if he stops Sergey, that even makes it even better. That makes it even better. And I gotta go on record, man. I guess we gotta maybe put him in top 5 for this. I don't know number 1, fight fans. Number 1, because right now, after all of the stuff that he been doing, man, I even knocked him out of my top 5. If people don't agree with me there, but it's just too much crap, man. It's just too much crap. And he has to heal all those wounds. This is a good thing he's doing to heal those wounds, fighting a champion that's recognized as the number 1 cat at a weight. This is more respectable than he did with Rocky Fielding. I would definitely say that. Kovalev is seen as the number one fighter at the weight class. I mean, Canelo is going to take on the number one guy, regardless of how we feel about where Sergey Kovalev is at in his career, his age, and how he looked in his last few fights. He still, is he now, well, unless we're going to say Beterbiev is the number one view guy at the weight class, but by most accounts, a lot of people view Sergey as number one. And maybe because he's been there so long. But Beterbiev is, hell of a fighter, but most people view Sergey Kovalev as number one. So this is Canelo going up to beat the number one kid at the weight class. That's big shit, man. That's big shit. And I know my argument against it is tough, man, and I know most people might be like, nah, man, I can't, I don't know, bro. I got to give it to him, man. I mean, that's a tough victory. I get it. I just can't get over it. This is just too much crap, man. Maybe I need 1 or 2 big victories like this. Maybe we can talk, but then you got to think he just coming off the Jacobs fight. Just take some thinking, man. Canelo shit complicated, man. It's complicated. The also one says, imagine if Canelo wins, stay at 75 for a bit. Usyk drops back down from heavy, and we see Usyk versus Canelo. I like that. Or I'd like Andre Ward coming back to take on Canelo. How about we look at that too? I like that. But I love to see, if Canelo get this victory over Kovalev, man, look, man, why don't he call out Andre Ward? I don't see Canelo doing it. He don't want to deal with that type style. He don't want to deal with that type fighter, but then that would be interesting to see him call out Andre Ward at 175 to come back after he beat Sergey Kovalev. Do y'all know how big that fight would be? Y'all know how big that fight would be? Man. And hey, look, I'm just saying, and Canelo might think that, hey, you know what? Dre been out of the ring for a little bit. Maybe I can catch him first fight back. Will Canelo actually take on a something like that? Andre Ward at 175. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I'm just saying that people been asking these questions of Ward. You notice certain questions been swirling around Ward. John Dejan in the super chat. Much love to you, famo. What's up, homie? Love the content, even though you a Charlo hater. Lines only all day. Hey, bro, I'm not a Charlo hater. I'm a B-side Charlo. I go against him. As for A-side Charlo, I just hold him accountable, homie. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you, though, John Dejan. Yeah, man. I mean, look. If all Charlo got to do is stop the barking and act like he actually want to fight. That's it. Stop the contradictory statements. Stop acting like you a diva. Stop with the whole, and just look, man, get in the mix. The door is wide open for you to walk through. They telling you they want you over there. But we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I know you're a Charlo fan, man, and I don't want to get on him too much, man. But I like A-side Charlo, and he is a duck fighter. I always give him that credit. You know what I mean? But back to this right here, man. But this is going to be monumental for Canelo Alverez. He said he's going for history, and he deserves to get his full credit for this, man, especially everything coming back cool on the drug testing, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, pound for pound, top 5, all right, we can have a conversation about top. This just gets him back in the top 5. You know what I mean? I think this gets him back in the top 5. I hear Charlo is next for Canelo, says John J. I hear you. I like to see that. I mean, Canelo got the franchise belt. Canelo ain't got to do nothing. All Canelo got to do is chill out with the franchise belt, thanks to the WBC. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see. Charlo gotta humble himself, Mo. He gotta leave Showtime. It just is what it is. Look, we boxing fans. Ain't none of us dedicated to no network. Just leave the damn network, go on over to the zone, get your money, put yourself in position. Or if you want to stay where you at, then at least move to another sanctioning body where you can at least get better names. I understand, the consensus around this WBC thing is, they seen as champions and they should keep the belts. And man, I don't like it. I think it's a disrespectful thing. That's just me. You seen yourself as a champion, but you've been given the belt. You beat nobody for the belt. Fighters around you going to not look at you as a champion. I don't know, man. I guess you can leverage it for more money. That's the best thing about it, right? But it is what it is. Bang for Buck PC says they know something that we don't. Plus 300. Yeah, they might do know something that we don't. I can't believe you that much up, man. Plus 300, though? I mean, plus 300. God damn. Something is in, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Something is in. Look, with the way Canelo chose this fight and the way he stepped to this fight, man, he really, really believed that Sergey Kovalev is that weak to the body to take a chance like this. Not to mention if he loses, though, Canelo Alvarez is not going to get like overly criticized for losing this fight. It's one of those fights where the fix is in. You're supposed to lose. You're losing. You're going up and fighting a bigger man. You're supposed to lose. So he ain't gonna lose much far as his, fan appeal is concerned. They just gonna see him taking a chance at greatness, and he'll spin it that way. But I don't know, man. Sergey Kovalev's jab, though, y'all. That jab, his power is still there intact. It ain't what it used to be. Some people say, but it's still good enough. I believe you got the smaller man coming up, puffing himself up like that. I still believe that his power is good enough to honestly put a hurting on Canelo. And it's going to be interesting to see how Canelo survives these early rounds with Kovalev coming out at full strength. Canelo, I don't even know if he makes it towards the inside those first couple rounds, fight fans. Those first 2 rounds, Kovalev, that jab, that right hand, I think it's going to be popping. 4th, 5th round is where Canelo needs to go to work. Period. You know what I mean? For him to have a chance in this fight. Salute, man. I'm riding with Cove. I think his jab and weight will be too much. Canelo, says Tim Johnson. Too much for Canelo. That's what I'm saying, man. And then I just, when I think of Canelo's stamina, him even slowing down against Gennady Golovkin, not being able to stop the Gennady Golovkin. But Gennady Golovkin didn't show as much weakness to the body as Sergey Kovalev, granted. But Canelo's power still not being able to stop even a Gennady Golovkin. To say that he's going to stop a bigger man who, damn, he got a pretty good bid on him. Sergey got he's been out before, yeah, but he's got a pretty good bid on him. In Andre Ward's case, he went to the body. He showed everybody that's where the weakness was. A lot of people are even taking Andre Ward's words as like some sort of fact. Like everybody said, oh, he's not the crusher no more because Andre Ward said it. Andre Ward is trying to make himself look good by trying to make everybody think that he is the one that not made Kovalev the crusher no more. So how much words, can we really look too much into Andre Ward's words to say he's not when he's just stopped somebody with a jab? I don't know, man. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and say for my prediction, and it's time for me to get on record. I've been talking about this fight now for a while, so let's just go ahead and get on record officially now and say who I believe is going to win this fight. In my opinion, I think the winner of this fight tonight going down at 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. What the hell is that? But anyway, who I think going to win this fight, I'm going to go with Sergey Kovalev. I think Sergey Kovalev by at least a majority decision. I think Sergey Kovalev will keep Canelo honest in the early rounds. I think he will give a lot of rounds in the mid rounds to Canelo Alverez, but no more than about 3 or 4. I think Canelo will have to take time off. I think Canelo will have to slow down. He will, and that's where Sergey Kovalev will shine. I think Sergey Kovalev will even finish the fight stronger than Canelo. That's what I believe. If I'm wrong, this speaks volumes about Canelo. I am not expecting the good little guy to beat the good big guy. Yes, Sergey Kovalev has his weaknesses. But I believe at the weight class that they fighting at, the Canelo will have his limits. And Canelo looked good. Like he could carry these type of things in 160, 154. But I think up here where you're fighting a certified champion who does hit hard. Granted, he's coming off being only out of the ring 2 months. Granted, he struggled to make weight. This could be the writing on the wall, fight fans. A lot of us always know that the writing on the wall usually leading up into a fight is when we see fighters struggling to make weight and stuff like that. But I think that in Sergey Kovalev's case, where he's just comfortable at this weight, he's comfortable with the punch resistance at this weight. There ain't many questions about what Sergey Kovalev can do at this weight. There's a lot of questions about Canelo, so we all might get it wrong. But I just don't see it, man. I think Canelo he's going to come close, but just not close enough. I don't want to liken this fight to what Sugar Ray Robinson did, none whatsoever. But you know how Sugar Ray Robinson went into that light heavyweight fight and he fought the best fight of his life according to Mike Tyson. And he lost because he gave out the heat exhaustion. Came close, just couldn't get there. And I think that's going to be similar to Canelo. I don't think he's going to pass away from no heat exhaustion, but I just think what he'll do in the fight will be close. But I just don't think that, I think his limitations will kick in. I think he will take time off. I think he will start to go on the back foot eventually in this fight. I think he will have the intentions of trying to go to Kovalev's body, attempting to get there, and have minor successes in doing such. But I think Kovalev will be able to weather the storm. You know, so I think Sergey Kovalev by majority decision. We may even see a knockdown in this fight. I wouldn't be surprised. But by me now picking Sergey Kovalev to win this fight, this means that if Canelo wins this fight, I got to think a lot more highly of him. I have to, because I'm picking him to lose. So I'm going to have to think more highly of him. And maybe try to consider, even though through his PED scandals and catch weight, being the catch weight king, got to really consider, because the win of this magnitude is huge. And I can't like understand. I can't just act like it's not exist, like he's not doing this. He is going up 2 classes to fight what's considered and widely viewed as the number 1 fighter at the class. So it's not a small feat. It's a big enough feat for me to at least bring him out of the red in pound for pound discussions and at least put him in the green. Is it enough for me to put him as number 1? I don't know. I don't think so. But it's enough for me to put him in the green. And he wasn't even in the damn green. You dig? So that's still props for Canelo Alverez, if you will. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Newborn says Canelo pound for pound. Really? He has no belt. He vacated his belt. Franchise is fantasy. Stop spreading the boxing theme talk. Franchise is definitely fantasy, but the franchise belt has nothing to do with a victory over Sergey Kovalev, bruh. Like, that's still it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so much crap with Canelo. Franchise belts, catch weights, PED scandals. All of these things combined makes it so hard to put him there. But we can't act like a victory over Sergey Kovalev ain't big shit. It is. It is. We could keep saying, look, man, we could say that, but this is coming at the full-fledged weight class. At 175, no catch weights. This is happening where Sergey Kovalev is reigning supreme. Sure, it's like I said before, and I got Rocket Strikes 89 in the building. What up, family? Like I told, even when we were talking in the last episode, Rocky, like I said, Kovalev is coming off just recently being in the ring, and that's big. But still, this is still Sergey Kovalev. And this Canelo is still only basically the middleweight champion. Because what he did at 68, secondary belt, I mean, come on. It's still big, that's still big shit. And you just can't take it away from him, regardless of the PEDs, and that's big. And that's why I say at least takes him out of the red and puts him in the green. Not so much puts him number 1. It ain't gotta be, you ain't even gotta put him top 3 if you don't, but you gotta have a serious conversation and say, look, man, this was a serious win. Especially if he stops Sergey Kovalev. Especially if he stops him. I'm just saying. AJ10 says Kovalev has a good jab all day. And I'm thinking that he's going to have to use that jab early, because Canelo, he's going to be using that upper body movement very early. He's going to have to use that jab intelligently. Can't put it out there willy-nilly, because Canelo can counter. Counter's damn good, and he will counter downstairs. That's something that Sergey Kovalev just need to be mindful of. Going in there, if he tries to flick that jab out there, Canelo will counter him to the body. Uppercuts, boom, all day downstairs, right up underneath that jab. Hooks all day. Canelo will look to do that. That's why Sergey Kovalev feet cannot have center blocks on him. He got to move. He's got to keep that separation between him and Canelo as best as possible using that jab. And get ready for the constant pressure that Canelo is going to try to put on him for a few rounds. Make him work. Make Canelo work. John DeJohn says, speed kills. Canelo is 10 times faster than Cove. The fight is one of the easiest to call, bro. Canelo is 10 times fast. Yeah, but this still, bro. We can't act like weight classes don't exist for a reason, man. Like that just mean weight classes mean something. Bro, like the power, the punch resistance, all of these things play a part too. Speed is, I will say Canelo may be the faster fighter. But how does Canelo react by being hit by a certified 175 pounder that can crack? That can crack. That speed might slow down a little bit. He might make him a little bit more honest. I'm just saying these things are at play. Rocky Strike says, what up, Slim? A lot of boxers are on Canelo's nuts. Andre Rozier said it best. He said people are acting like Sergey is 50 years old. Canelo, he's 2 to get past a powerful jab and a vicious right hand to try to get close. And that's what I agree. I actually think about that too. And that's why I say early on in this fight, it's going to be questionable to see if Canelo makes it to the inside. He shouldn't overly try it. If Canelo was smart, he ain't going to try to do that about mid-rounds, 4th, 5th round. Like I say, Yard, I thought he turned it up at the right time, but he just took his foot off the gas too early. Yard only did it for 2 rounds, but it was effective. I'm expecting Canelo to be semi-effective once he go downstairs. I just don't expect him to be able to sustain it. That's the problem. That's the problem. John Lejeune says, main man, it was all tactical, hard fight, legal issues, and agent. I've got Canelo, but this is just another 155 situation. I hear you, Mo. Marcus Davis, I think Canelo will win, but hope he don't take too much damage in the process. Though he is fighting a bigger guy that can crack, hopefully Canelo comes out the same after this fight. I hope so too. You know, Canelo also had that knee issue going into this fight where honestly, it's another thing I'm shocked as to why Canelo was taking this fight. No one's really talking much about it. We know Canelo had his knee tied up in his last fight against Daniel Jacobs. And we also know that we at one point in time, they were even talking about surgery or whatever. But I mean, he's going right into this Kovalev fight, and I thought he was going to sit back and let it heal. That's one of the reasons I thought he kept Gennady Golovkin away. I thought he was more so concerned about his knee, and he wasn't going to risk going into a fight with Gennady Golovkin with that knee. But then he took on a bigger challenge in Sergey Kovalev. And so now I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying? So what you say about his health, I hope that knee, man, because that can, if that becomes more of a, he did his mobility in the Daniel Jacobs fight looked at it a little limited. You know what I'm saying? That fight wasn't too long ago. His mobility in that fight looked a little limited. And I'm just saying that can't be the case against Kovalev, who's going to try to fight long. This is, as you see the quote right here by his trainer, Kovalev, that's all he knows is how to fight long. He's not interested in learning how to fight on the inside. So Canelo, that knee, bro, you better hope that knee is in tip-top going into this fight, man, because his mobility in that Jacobs fight, I'm telling y'all fight fans, it wasn't all the way there. Go back and watch it. You know what I mean? I hear you, Kelly Sowell and Triple G beat Clint twice. Hey, man, close fights, close fights. Newborn says, main man, pound for pound is fantasy. It's boxing theme talk. It's not real franchise. It's not real. Let's talk boxing. Let's talk boxing the fight. Why you keep saying boxing theme talk? I don't know what that means, bro. This is a boxing channel. We're going to talk boxing. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean by when you keep saying boxing theme. What does that mean, bro? Rocket Strikes 89's Canelo could counter him to the body, but he will have to work extra hard on his body. You can get Cove out by 3 body shots, especially coming from a middleweight. Canelo has to focus completely on Cove's body. That's true. Absolutely. But he will. I don't think I don't think Canelo gonna be able to do it in 1 round. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it in 2 rounds. I think he's gonna need at least a good 3 or 4 rounds of constant body pressure on Kovalev to get him out of there. And that's mainly because he's a middleweight. Maybe I'm tripping. I mean, like I said, Yard almost did it in 2. But even you got to admit, Rocket Strikes 89, does Canelo hit like Yard? So I think, I don't know. I don't know. But Kovalev coming out of the ring so soon, that made the Kovalev having problems at the weigh-in. How will that play into this fight? I'm thinking about that too while I pick Sergey Kovalev. I'm thinking about those things. But I just think about Canelo's stamina problems too. It's like when you think about you put all of this in the pot and you stir it up, man. I got to go with the big man that's used to this weight class, man. And that punch is very good at this weight class. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So I mean, I don't know, man. This is gonna be a big fight, monumental fight. Y'all know, y'all heard about the purses going into this thing. They saying Canelo will get his guaranteed purse of $35 million. Plus, of course, he'll get some bells and whistles that we don't know about from TV rights and stuff like that. And Sergey Kovalev official purse will be $3 million. But of course, once it's all said and done, he gets his little bells and whistles. They talking he'll walk away with about 12. But he also got to kick extra money because he got two promoters in his pockets, and that's Bob Arum of Top Rank, and as well as Kathy Duva. So, yo, he got to pay two bodies, and he'll probably walk away with some bread after that. This is still his best financial purse. Also, Kathy Duva over on Barbershop's Conversation, salute to Barbershop Conversation. She over there, she said that even after this fight, that Sergey Kovalev, he'll be in a good position as far as, you know, still being able to go forward and get big fights and still being shown on big networks. If he wins, it looks like what she's saying is that Kovalev will probably end up going over to DAZN. But if he loses, he still has deals in place where he can go back to ESPN. So either way, Kovalev will be looking good coming out of this fight. You know what I mean? But I don't think reputation-wise, if Kovalev loses this fight, this was going to be a big knock on his reputation, Joe. Like, this is going to be a big knock on people sizing him up against the Bivels and sizing him up against, to say, the Better Beeves of the world. Like, this is going to have serious repercussions about people sizing him up with those fighters. So if he loses to Canelo, Slim, this is going to be a big, big hurt for Sergey Kovalev. And another thing, like Canelo, if people thinking that Canelo's victory over Sergey, because Sergey may be ranked highly pound for pound, I don't think Sergey is ranked nearly as highly as he used to be, given he's not, coming off losses not too long ago. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. But this is going to be a good fight. Tune in tonight, fight fans. Don't miss this fight, man. It's going down. Sergey Kovalev versus Canelo Alverez. Canelo Alvarez daring to be great. I got Sergey Kovalev taking the win by majority decision. I'm going with the good big man over the good little man. I think the good little man will have limitations going into this fight. I think he'll have some successes. I think he'll go to his game plan, and he'll probably, it'll be working. But I just don't think he'll be able to sustain it, especially with the firepower that's going to be coming back at him. I think that his stamina at this higher weight class, where we've seen it be an issue at lower weights, I think definitely it's going to become an issue at a higher weight. I think all of this combined will give Sergey Kovalev the edge, his length, his big jab, his big right hand, his punch resistance at the weight class. Regardless of the fact, like I said before, he came out of the ring shortly ago. I understand he crunched to make this weight, and that could be the thing that give Canelo the edge, man. I'm telling y'all, I said that going into this fight. Canelo's edge is going to come by Sergey Kovalev not being, having proper rest, and we seeing him crunching down to make this weight so hard on a 6-week camp. So that would be Canelo edge, and maybe that little edge right there might be enough to grant it towards Canelo. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I'm rooting for Sergey Kovalev, and I think that he'll pull this one out, man. So I'll just leave it at that, man. So y'all check this on out, man. Rocket Strike says, period, point blank, if that man can survive yard and knock him out, a jab, there's no way Lil Canelo will win. And hey, Rocket Strike, so, you talking like that, if Canelo win, we got to sit back and say, damn, that was a good-ass victory. I mean, this is why I say the conversation about pound for pound might just get a green light. Maybe not number one, but it will get a green light. So you saying stuff like that, and all the fans out there, everybody out there that's counting out Canelo Alvarez, and you saying stuff like, no way, no how, no. If he wins this fight, you have to give him proper credit, and you got to give him proper ranking and placement in boxing. You just do. You know what I'm saying? You just do. It's only the right way to go. So that's how I feel about this fight, man. I don't know if tonight I'm gonna be able to do a I don't know if tonight I'm gonna be able to do a post-fight video, because this fight just gonna come on so goddamn late. I mean, they're talking about 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, Joe. 1 o'clock in the morning. So that's just the start. That's not even counting the Ryan Garcia and Dunno fight. So I just can't do it, man. But as y'all can see here, prediction, who you got? Sergey Kovalev all day. Rocket Strike says, I will eat crow if Canelo wins. I will have no problem, but I just don't see it. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's everybody. You know what I mean? So that's Main Man Made Man's prediction. I am officially on the record. I didn't do it in the last episode of We Talking Boxing because I really had to digest this. This wasn't nothing that I wanted to jump out there with. And I was for a minute leaning towards Canelo. I will admit that. I was leaning towards Canelo. I just kept on thinking about the advantages. I kept on thinking, then seeing the weigh-in last night, that even semi-assured me. I just knew, I was like, I'm going to come on here today and just say, yo, what, Canelo going to pull this out. But I just kept on thinking of I think of the limitations, man. The limitations of Canelo, and I just can't give it to him. I see Sergey Kovalev, even a depleted version, as some say that he is, still surpassing the limitations of Canelo Alverez. So much love to each and every one of y'all, man. So to the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man Made Man. I'm going to get out of here. This is a short episode. We only been going 45 minutes. I'm going to get out of here early today, man. It's Saturday, man. I know y'all got things to do. Tune in tonight. Don't miss the fights. And I will try to get back on here tonight. If not, I will see y'all first thing tomorrow where we'll chop it up. And we'll see how the chips fall. You know what I mean? Media software says they're doing it after the UFC 244 main event is over. Yeah, I know. And but that's on a whole nother network, man. And, yo, that's two different sports. They're so pressed to try to drag those MMA fans on over to the boxing world, and they think that something like that going to really happen, man. I mean, look, these two separate sports. Just let the shit go on. I mean, this hurts the fan base of Canelo Alvarez. As you say he the cash cow, but you putting him on at a time where a lot of his fans might not see him fight. They got to understand what they got here. And I know Canelo Alvarez can't be happy about this start time, man. I know he can't be. Silver Salamo, what's up, man? I know he can't be happy about this. 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast? When has Canelo ever fought that damn late? That wasn't on even on the pay-per-views, they don't go that damn late. 2 o'clock in the morning? That's stupid. That's stupid. And I know Canelo got to be a little mad about that. Temporary brain. Well, it was close, bro. I was right there leaning towards Canelo, man. I really was, man. But I looked at Sergey's, even his loss to Elian de Alvarez, man. Like, he was still doing some good things in that fight, man. Canelo got to wow me. Canelo just really has to impress me with this. We'll see. We'll see. He really has to impress. And I know I'm probably betting on the wrong cat, man. This dude got court cases. He getting thrown off planes, and he beating up women's pets, and he hiding in their bushes. And, I know I may be betting on the wrong cat, but the limitations of Canelo fight fans. The limitations of Canelo, man. I can't fight, man. I just can't. I can't. So I'm going to leave it there, man. So y'all tune in later on, man. Salute, man. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. And like always, man, come on back here on the post-fight, like I said, review. And, we'll break it down, man, and come on back for We Talking Boxing. I'll definitely be here by Wednesday, but we'll do some live streams in the meantime, between time also, man. And so until the next one, don't forget to subscribe. Main Man Made Man, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man Made Man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. Enjoy the fight tonight, and we going to chop it up. Until the next one, peace out.